My fiancé, 27F, settled for me, 29M, and I don't know if I should go through with the wedding. My fiancé is way out of my league. She's a legit 10 from looks to personality, just beyond what I ever thought I was capable of convincing to date me, never mind marry me. The ready why has always been in the back of my mind, and unfortunately last week I got the answer. I overheard a conversation she had with her sister about me. I had just come home and I guess she didn't hear me come in. The conversation was long, but she basically confirmed that she is marrying me because I'm your typical nice guy you settle down with. She said I adore her and it's best to be with someone that puts you on a pedestal. She also basically confirmed that she had much more wild sex with the other guys she's dated. But she'd had her fun and I was just fine in that area. So, later that night I tell her that I overheard her and I said that I was concerned that she was settling for me. And she didn't totally dismiss it. She said she loved me of course and knew she wanted to marry me early on because I was the type of guy you marry. Now, I didn't take this well. I don't want to be someone that you settle for. I want to marry someone that is as crazy about me as I am about her. So I tell her that, and also that she is too good to settle. She should have a person that she is crazy about and that puts her on a pedestal. So I tell her to take some time to think about if I am really what she wants, and she breaks down in tears. She apologizes for saying that to her sister, that she didn't mean it, and she went on for a while. I eventually caved and apologized. We hugged and eventually had sex, which was actually the best sex we've ever had. And for the past week she has basically been all over me. I love this girl, but how is she going to feel about me in 10 years if she is not head over heels for me now? Am I making too much out of this? How should I handle this going forward? TLDR, my fiancé settled for me and I don't know if it will work long term. Edit. I do want to add that she never said she settled for me. That's something I inferred. She used settle down, which is different. She's only 27 and like I said she is a 10 and could get someone else at any time.
Pakistani universities lack empathy. I am going to summarize a short story to let you guys know why did I say that. My aunt has 3 daughters under the age of 19 and she got widowed a few years ago. Her eldest recently joined university, but also a really good proposal showed up. She was almost 20 at that time, everyone encouraged and the in-laws promised to be supportive of her education. Mostly people lie, but they were genuine. Now she got married in her 2nd or 3rd semester and barely took 2 weeks off for the wedding, and the institute made a fuss about it, and after a long hurdle her application was processed. Why do they have a problem with a female student marrying? Sab kuch sath ho sakta hai for some people. The part where I somewhat blame her too, but again it's not her fault, is that around her 6th semester she had to take a month off because her delivery was going to happen through C-section. I believe the baby could have been delayed until she graduated and her husband should have made sure about that. The university made a fuss. She went until her last date before delivery and finally was given 2 weeks to heal, leave the baby and return. Even after that her professor cut her attendance short and failed her in 2 subjects. Though she is a good academic student, they have been left, right center been bashing her for settling down during uni and all. She does not plan on joining the workforce but simply wants to complete her gradation and cries every night to drop out because of the treatment she receives from her professors. We have been forcing her to get the degree and then give up. The story is to ask what majority thinks of settling during university days. How many leaves do we even take in 4 years? Why can't they accommodate women in these aspects? Not like they chose to be the one carrying the baby and chose not to heal in 2 days postpartum. My mom and I had an argument yesterday where my mom blames the uni while insane that my cousin is partly responsible for not planning ahead. Family planning word is still a taboo in Desi culture.
So, is everyone just doing kegels? How do you keep your pelvic floor from being terrible? My first pregnancy I asked my OBGYNs about pelvic floor exercises because I felt like it was starting to get weak towards the middle of the 3rd trimester. They all told me there were plenty of resources online and made me feel a little silly for even asking. I did my best to look, but there are so many suggestions I kind of just did my own thing. Now I'm 24 weeks with my 2nd, and if I thought my pelvic floor was weak before, this makes it feel like it was nothing in the first pregnancy, lol. I switched practices for this pregnancy and will ask next time I go, but in the meantime, what is everyone doing? Just kegels? Pelvic tittles? Anything that has specifically worked for people would be appreciated. I regularly do yoga and light cardio, but clearly that doesn't cut it at this point lol. Edit. Thank you everyone for the advice and information. It's been very helpful and I appreciate everyone who took the time to comment. I go in for my next checkup at the end of the week and will discuss referrals for a physical therapist who can help me. I also think after I've been going for a while, I'll make another post to share the experience. I know it's all anecdotal and it will just be my specific experience and everyone is different, but I realize I'm not alone in not really knowing this stuff and these comments have been great. And for those asking what a weak pelvic floor feels like, in my case, I have a connective tissue disorder, EDS, so I think it makes me hyper aware of what's going on with all my muscles, so it could be different for anyone else. For me though, it just feels off in a way that is beyond the regular and expected stretching. My biggest hint that it's what's going on is I have to actively squeeze the muscles when I cough or sneeze or else I'll pee myself. The joys of pregnancy lol. Also, after a long day of walking, it feels sore in a way that's like it just got a serious workout, more than my last pregnancy and in a way I think could be improved with the right exercises and guidance. But again, thank you everyone for your advice, links, and recommendations. It's very helpful to have somewhere to ask these questions face.